In today's episode, Indy is on, Madison plays 18 songs, and the mellow sustain is still going. Welcome to the Upstage. My name is Luke.
And I'm Josh.
And we begin today with the great news that DCI is back. After more than 680 days since the last live show, we're just a few short weeks away from DCI's return to the field. Josh, what excites you most about DCI's return?
Look, what am I not excited about? Music on the field, hearing metronomes in the parking lot, smelling the diesel fumes in the parking lot. I mean, drum corps back. You know, we haven't had this thing. You know, there's performers from all around the world who have come together to make this happen. So I'm just excited about all of it.
Yeah, me too. As of right now, 23 corps are going to Indy, and we have even more that are going to be performing as part of shows around the country and things like that, doing regional performances. And as of right now, also, we have 27 total shows. Is that too many?
Look, the drum corps fan in me says it's not enough. You know, like I want to see drum corps. I want to hear drum corps every day. I want to keep FloMarching on. You know, like I don't know. I mean, like if we're gonna do drum corps, let's do drum corps. Like let's get all the shows. Let's go to all of our favorite places, all of the best stadiums around the country, and let the drum corps do their thing.
Yeah. Now I'm also a drum corps fan, so I'm excited about it. Now, just a few short months ago, there was like 3 shows, right? This celebration in Indy. So I'm not skeptical, but I am a little nervous that it might be a little too much too fast. But things are opening up. The corps are following guidelines. They're doing really well to bring this activity back. So kudos to them for doing that. I hope it all goes well, and I think it will. 27 in just like a few short weeks is a lot. So I think there's going to be a lot to be excited about. Now, it all starts really with the theater show on July 15th. And that's going to be in a record number of theaters around the country.
Yeah, look, and I mean, what better way to kick off this drum corps season? Again, one that we weren't even planning on having until we're having it, So, I mean, in that theater show, we're seeing Crown 2015, Cavies 2016, Blue Devils 2017, Vanguard 2018, and Bluecoats 2019. So, like, is there a better way to like crank up the season with that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool to kind of lead up to this year. So seeing all these shows from the last couple years. There's also going to be live content. So I think they're going to visit, I believe, the Bluecoats spring training. We've got some pre-recorded updates from other corps and stuff like that. So it's not going to just be reruns of shows that we've seen. There's actually going to be new stuff too that we haven't seen.
Yeah, and look, I mean, this is a really unique summer for a lot of reasons. And so the stuff that the drum corps are going to be putting out is probably going to be some of the more unique behind the scenes stuff. So, whatever they put out, just engage with it, love it, and support the corps.
Yeah, and the first live show is actually going to happen on July 24th. And then the first show that is streaming on Flo is actually going to be on the 30th. So things are going to kick off pretty fast. So we're going to get that show on the 15th. And then when we get to the 24th, it's like 27 shows from there until that second week of August where the Indy thing is happening. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's turn our attention to last year's WGI season. In 2020, the season was cut short due to the COVID-19 pandemic. What that did do was it provide an opportunity for 2021 to be fully virtual. So what that meant is groups from around the world, created these incredible videos to share with fans in a completely new way. So what I'm interested in knowing, Luke, is what did you think of the virtual season? Should it stick around? Those kinds of things.
Yeah, so I think when WGI announced the virtual season, I think myself and with a lot of other people were a little skeptical about it because there's been some virtual things in the past and they haven't always gotten a lot of traction. But with this being the only thing that existed at the time, groups really jumped in and delivered. Of course, they did. Many groups did their kind of normal show and did this high cam recording. And speaking of which, over 16,000 performers, competed as part of this. So this was really cool. Now, the thing I liked the most was the e-showcase because this was the first time that I think groups got to kind of flex their muscles when it comes to doing things from a post-production standpoint. So it's not just this live thing, but let's see how we can build an entire production that's not only going to be seen live and in person, but also on the internet. So that is what excited me the most. The eShowcase was awesome.
Yeah, and what the eShowcase did for me was, provided sort of an opportunity for no rules. So, and what no rules means is like no judging. So like just put your best foot forward, get as creative as you want, So in my opinion, I don't think that it should be judged. I think it should continue to stick around, and it should just be sort of, whatever you want goes. So, I mean, do you think it should be judged?
Yeah, I would actually say that was the one thing that I wanted to see out of the eShowcase, because there's so much creativity, and part of me thinks like, yeah, let's just let it be what it's going to be and just do it for the enjoyment. But I think the reality is our activity is governed a lot by the competition, and that really helps push it forward in a lot of ways, because we see a lot of innovation for people trying to get that extra leg up. So I would like to see a future where that eShowcase is scored. I actually think it would do a lot for that category and a lot for the activity as well, not only for us internally, but actually reaching new people outside of the current marching community. Now, one of the most anticipated parts of any DCI season is when corps start to announce their shows. Now, with a unique year where there's no true DCI finals where it's going to be scored, a lot of corps are doing some interesting things, including throwbacks. What do you think, Josh, of all of the throwbacks that are being announced?
Look, I think it's awesome. I mean, what better way to bring drum corps back than to bring drum corps back, so I'm a huge fan of it. But honestly, the one that I'm looking forward to the most is cadets. I mean, period. You just stop right there, right? Because Rocky Point, Copeland, Moon Dance, Dancer in the Dark. I mean, like that is our drum corps history. So like, to me, that's the throwback show that I can't wait to see and hear.
Yeah, and I think there's two styles of throwback shows. So there's like kind of what Cadets is doing, where they're saying, hey, we're going to like collect all of our years and put it into one show. And then there's the kind that I'm really looking forward to, which is what Phantom Regiment is doing. So Harmonic Journey. I was in the stands in 2003 at finals watching that show. And I think all drum corps fans at some point have thought about, I wish I could go back and re-watch this show in real time, knowing kind of the historical significance of that show. So I hope Phantom Regiment plays the exact same horn book, the exact same drum book. They spin the same thing. They march the same drill. I just want to relive that moment. So that's the show in terms of throwbacks that I'm most excited for. Now, when it comes to non-throwbacks, is there a show specifically that caught your eye?
Well, this is sort of a hybrid, but like a continuation, because Bluecoats are doing sort of a part 2, if you will, of their 2019 show called The Bluecoats, but now they're doing Lucy. So it's more Bluecoats, more Beatles, top that,
Yeah, now, history hasn't always been kind to like part 2 shows, but I think this is actually going to be really awesome. One, because it's not judged, and two, drum corps is just back. So I think there's no problem with doing this type of show. I'm just going to be standing up and screaming probably the whole time, just excited to hear more music. Now, one of the things that caught my eye is Madison, because they are playing 18 pieces of source music. Now, so, there's a 10 to 12 minute show, and as a designer, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how are they going to get all of that in there? Do you think 18 pieces is too many for a show?
If they're going to give it a shot, let's let that design team, we'll trust them and just see what happens. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not enough. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, but it depends on who's paying the rights. But, 18 pieces, 10 minutes, Madison Scouts, the most tuneful drum corps probably in our history. So I'm in for it.
Yeah, and they've got a stacked design team, so I believe in what they're doing. It's just one of those things that I think we're all going to want to look out for. So when they come out that first show, I'm going to be there with my notepad just checking off the tunes as they come in and see how they kind of piece that all together. Yeah. All right, now we're going to move to head-to-head. Let's hear our first topic.
Over under 17,000 people attend DCI Finals Night in person. Let's hear it.
All right, so this is a really interesting thing. So what we know, the historical data about DCI finals attendance, it hovers between 20 and 25,000 people. So on the higher end on good years, and maybe around 22, 21 on some lower years. So I think 17 is right in that spot where it's easy to go over or under. Now, Indy just started opening things up for the full stadium, but I think we're going to be just under that, because travel plans, need to be booked way ahead of time. I think there's still going to be a little apprehension about it, but I think generally people are clamoring to get back in, but I'm going to go with that under.
Yeah, all valid points, but really, I think we're going over that. Drum Corps back. The Colts have announced that full capacity at their stadium. So long as things keep moving in a healthy direction, I don't see why we shouldn't be over. Fans should be back. There's going to be, all of these drum corps there, all of these great shows. What's holding us back? So, from going. So I'm definitely taking the over on that.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Next.
What's most likely to happen? The cadets do a Z-pull, a corps does a mellow sustain, or someone else. They're always ready.
Okay, so, look, we've already talked about cadets. They're definitely doing a Z-pull. They're playing Rocky Point. With Rocky Point comes a Z-pull. Right, so
maybe
that's for sure going to happen. So next, mellow sustain. Somehow, it's going to be there. It happened in 2019. There's probably still ringing in Lucas Oil of the mellow sustain in 2020 somehow. So I'm sure somebody's going to, who knows? Maybe they'll even make a whole show out of it. And then least likely, I think that it's not. It's less likely that somebody's going to yell, "They're always ready."
Yeah, and I disagree completely, because if you're watching this and you've ever been to a marching band show, a drum corps show, you know that someone always yells, "They're always ready" at some point during the show. Whether you love it or hate it, it happens. So that's most likely going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and guarantee it's going to happen. The next thing, I think the cadet Z-pull is going to happen. I think it's going to happen in a different way, though. So I don't think they're just going to come out and give it to us. I think they might fake us out. They might put it in a different spot, something like that. I do think it's going to happen, because if you're going to do cadets history, the Z-pull is a big part of that. And then the last thing, the mellow sustain, we get someone doing that, every 5 to 7 years. I think it's run its course. I think it could happen, but I'm actually going to say it's not going to happen. So I'm going to say that's the least likely to happen. Next topic.
All right, so what was cooler, the DCI TikTok video or the visual challenge without any visuals?
All right, so if you haven't seen these, you're in for a treat. My pick is definitely this DCI TikTok announcement. If you haven't seen it, let's roll it now.
On the phone from Indianapolis, Indiana, performing their 2021 program, TikTok. Drum Corps International is proud to present Drum Corps International.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack here, and I think they're all good things to unpack. First, DCI, which is an organization that is almost 50 years old, is on TikTok. Okay, so that's good news. We're coming into the 21st century now, so I'm down with that. 2, they're super self-aware because they're announcing themselves on TikTok as DCI, so they're going full meme here, so kudos to them. And 3, it's Dan Potter, very much the voice of the marching activity, a great voice for DCI as well. So this post, it blew up when it came out, so definitely my pick for the post of the week.
I like the post, and I love Dan Potter. However, when I saw this video, I thought that this is without question my top post. So this is Michael Rosales from the Breakdown Camp doing this awesome TikTok post. Let's check it out.
All right, color guard friends, I'm going to call it out. You show me what it looks like. 6, 7, and spin, spin, swoop, and turn. Toss behind the back, around, swoop, and hit flat, and release. Do your own body, and catch. Thank you.
Thank you. Does that sound like every color guard person ever?
Right, yeah.
Thank you.
Look, Michael Rosales, the Breakdown Camp, getting super creative on TikTok, telling them what to do, but not telling them what to do, and then seeing these performers do super creative stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know where this is going to lead us, but I saw that and I was like, look, this is the future of something. So that's my pick for the week.
Yeah, the silver lining of this pandemic has been the creativity, not only in just cool content to watch, but also it's educational. So I think this is actually going to inspire some new ways to teach a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, now let's move on to the last rep.
Let's do it. The DCI Hall of Fame class of 2021 has been announced. Michael Boo and Jay Murphy have been admitted. Deserving?
Look, that's an understatement. Michael Boo, greatest DCI journalist of all time. And Jay Murphy, what he's contributed to the Blue Devils, to the whole visual evolution and revolution of the activity. Totally deserving, absolutely.
Yeah, they're both legends.
Yeah. Carolina Crown is releasing their 2021 2021 show, in my mind, on FloMarching on July 10th. What are you expecting from that?
Well, apparently they're doing a couple things. So first, they're doing an e-showcase style thing. So like what WGI did, they're going to bring to the drum corps medium, which I think is going to be really cool to see how that happens, especially with Crown. And they're also going to perform live. So we're going to get two things, and it's going to be for free until 8:30 p.m. on Flo on July 10th. So, I mean, there's no real reason to not tune in. I'm pumped about that. DCI received nearly $5 million in SBA grant money. What does this mean?
Well, look, it means that the organization that, took this massive hit last year, is going to be able to come back. They're going to be supported. Hopefully they're going to be come back stronger than ever. And they're going to do that with guidance. Which I think is going to be really meaningful. And hopefully this will be the thing that sort of sets us on the path for the next 50 years.
Yeah, I think the guidance piece is the most important part of it. So they just don't have carte blanche to spend the money however they want. They're going to have some guidance and help from the SBA to actually make some really good decisions. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Next up, the UDB Tour Fee giveaway launches next week. What's your favorite memory from 2019?
Well, I mean, the whole week was awesome, but definitely handing the check off to Daniel Campa, the champion of 2019, who's actually marching drum corps for free this year at the Boston Crusaders. So great week. Can't wait to launch it again for this year in 2021. Now, just over 25 years ago, the Spartans placed second at the Beanpot Invitational. Did you ever march that show?
I marched that show for a couple of years. I've taught drum corps who've gone to that show, for a bunch of years. But I've actually never held the Beanpot.
Yeah, I'd like that trophy on my shelf.
Last up, you can get a cutout of yourself at DCI Finals this summer. I'm getting one. Are you going to get one?
I will get one if you get one for your dogs. All right, that's all the time we have for the Upstage today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on the Flo Sports family of apps and on social media, and we'll see you next week.